Okay.
Morning, today is Tuesday, August 5th, 2025. Present with us is the road department with Bear Taylor and Dylan Beveridge. And first of all, I have minutes. I have minutes of the road and bridge report from April 8th and of July 15th. So starting with April 8th. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
So second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Aye.
and July 15th, have another motion?
I'll move as well.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Good.
Sure.
All righty, we'll go ahead and start with you, Bear, if you would, please.
Sure. Like, not saying it's been quiet, we've had plenty of calls and complaints, but they're the run of the mill, you don't grade our road enough kind of stuff. So, the only one that we got yesterday, a little bit, we've talked about, I know me and Craig, and I think we brought it up in here before, is on the intersection of the Colonial, the frontage road.
Colonial,
and,
Colonial,
South Hills.
Colonial 282.
Yeah.
South Hills.
Right there at the four-way stop. Joe Carter owns a section of property there across from the, well, right by the mailboxes on that intersection. It was brought up here many years ago by Leonard about, he believes that road's not in the right place. He's put fences out to the edge of the road. He's now put in his own no parking signs. We finally got a complaint from a resident about that yesterday, wondering how he can block the mailboxes with equipment and have all this stuff right out to the road. So I have reached out to Great West about getting that intersection surveyed, so that we can know where the road right of way legally is. But just making you aware of that, yeah, right on that section of property, that triangle piece.
Yep.
He wanted to get us to move the road over to that northwest boundary at one point in time.
Move it along this boundary here.
Yeah, but that's a lot of money that I don't think we're ever gonna put out.
As long as it's within the easement.
And that's what we have to know is the survey, is the road where it's supposed to be?
Mailbox is here.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back to the point that that road was put in, I'm pretty sure when he was road supervisor. But,
I think it's been a road forever.
right,
I bought my property in '04. And it was dirt then,
yeah,
and then. For several years after that, when they paved it, and I think he was the road supervisor then.
so I mean, that's when it should have been moved if it was going to be. I don't know when he owned and bought the property, but these are old issues that are just finally coming to a head. So just kind of giving you an update on that.
It's like the homeowners association owns this lot here.
Yeah.
And that's where their mailboxes are. I don't see how they can block that. That's kind of.
He'll park his machine across there in front of the mailboxes because he says that he can park. He owns the road.
Okay. All right, yeah, a good thing. We'll tell lots, I guess.
As far as crew updates go, a lot of patching up north. Got a lot of work done, some big patches done. Looks really good. Got Scott and Dale are hauling some fill material from Dennis Julio's property down by Highor. That old rail bed he's offered many times. We've hauled out of there before. So we're hauling some more of that up. We're doing a lot of spot grading when the weather allows and we have water and roads are bad enough.
Maybe just hauling the fill up here for storage, just to
Yeah.
have, okay,
Yeah.
decomposed granite probably.
Most of it, yeah. I don't think we're gonna get much more than what we get today, just because it's not a great material, but it's good for certain things. But older guys have been doing a lot of patching with the Durapatcher, when it's worked. We finally, I think, got it working right, but we got a couple more little issues we gotta work on. They're gonna be down that cattle guard there at Highor, pretty well filled into the brim. But we talked to the rancher, asked about some help getting it cleaned out enough so the calves aren't walking across. So they're gonna just take a water truck down and try and blast the top few inches of material out of there.
Who's that? That's Sky Talk or?
No, that's Readers.
Peter?
Keith and Clint came in the other day. So just to help them out, it's most of that material in there's from when we're plowing or grading across there anyways, so it's kind of I feel a hard responsibility to help with it. Tree trimming, doing a lot of that up, Cataract, did some up Basin, and we got some other roads we're working on when the machines aren't working right. Jim, being Woolney and Whitehall, we've had him kind of up helping both sections, doing a lot of patching. And then as soon as we get done here, we're gonna send guys down there to help him get a bunch of patching done. But he's done a pretty good job of staying fairly busy down there on the days we didn't need him, doing a lot of trimming, mowing, other work, so.
On the mowing, have you guys gotten up on the Southern Lane yet? I've heard
I
that.
don't know that he's been up there yet.
Okay, you know what I'm referring to, right?
Not yet, they said they'd have that in probably another half a day, they'll be done down there, and that was on the list.
Thank you. I never had a complaint.
You know, you get one.
Oh, not yet, but I'm sure. I'll probably-
If we don't get to it soon, you'll get one.
You're right.
But as you guys know, we don't mow for aesthetics, we mow for visibility and, well, mostly for snow.
Right.
Fire.
Yeah, I'll just start a fire then, I don't have to blow it.
There you go. Leave it long enough, it'll burn itself.
Yep. Just an update on the Corbin Wicks chip seal. We were hoping for middle of August, just due to scheduling with the distributor truck. We weren't able to get on their agenda until the 25th. So it's that last week of August. But they're hauling us chips starting today, and we're on the books for the oil, so everything should be green lit for the week of the 25th. As far as which actual days the actual schedule goes, it'll be kind of dependent on the weather, but it's scheduled for that week. So we'll get,
Tentatively for that week.
yeah, the weather looks good that week. Looks like we should be sitting around 80 every day. No rain in the forecast yet, so that'll change, but never fails. But
In August, yeah, hopefully, that's about the best shot you got. These last few weeks, man, it's been raining almost every day.
and it doesn't look any better for the next week, so I think we got a good week to do it. We'll get some public notices put together today and tomorrow and get those out on Facebook and post it up in different places though, so.
I'll reach out to my contacts up there and let them know to spread the word too. What do you gotta do to the road before you chip seal? Are you gonna grade it and roll it and I don't know what?
I think it needs it, there's some potholes that come back and there's a high shoulder, so. I think just kind of dressing that road up, so it'll probably be nice to be able to get there probably the end of the week before, a couple days before, and just kind of touch all that stuff up and kind
Yeah,
of make sure it's nice and smooth, because we're gonna, whatever surface you see is what you're gonna see over the chip seal, so.
Are you
Nice
gonna
to
try to get a
finish that.
different pitch to it or?
No, I think with the standards now, I think we're good, aren't we?
You're good.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
two is usually your recommended for asphalt, 4 is gonna be okay. It just helps keep the watershed off of there better, so it's not gonna be a drivability issue. But for gravel roads, it's 4 to 6, so it's still within that recommended crown.
And the delineators, we're figuring out where they are, so when we plow the road, we had one instance last year where the road was super narrow and we figured the delineators weren't right, I don't know.
No, what happened there was the truck broke,
Oh, is that what it
but
was?
you didn't get back to get it widened
Oh,
out.
okay, gotcha.
That was one of our big storms, that was the big storm, we
Yeah,
had
that
all
was
the
a big
issues,
mess.
yeah, we had all the issues with the buses and everybody up
Yeah.
there.
That was
Yeah.
the one storm, and it was because that truck had broke at that point, and so it wasn't able to get it widened back
Yeah.
out.
I think Craig, actually, you went up there and drove it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep, I did.
What's his name, Sean from Ergon, the company we get the oil from, he's gonna try and be here that week just to help us out. We know how to chip seal, we're not worried, but we are using a different oil on that first base. There's a couple little things we do differently. So he said he's gonna try and be here that week, but he may have other commitments that he can't reschedule. Not a big deal if he's not here, because it's not like it's rocket science, but it's just, he's willing to come out and kind of make sure we get the best product we can if the schedule works out, so.
So do you do one side then the other side with the first?
Yeah, and you gotta let that first base kind of cure overnight
Okay,
before we can go back and give it the second one. The one big difference with this different oil is we actually need to wet the road first, so it's a little damp. We don't
Okay.
want running water, but you want a damp dirt. So we'll probably do the upper section, while you're talking to Dylan this morning, we'll probably start at the line, work down to Corbin and then back up and get that one done, and then go down and do the bottom. It'll help with traffic control quite a bit. Allow us to get back into the groove of chip sealing before we do the lower section. And then that next morning, we go in with the broom and just do a real light sweep to get the loose gravel off that first layer and then come back and do the top coat.
And it's different oil for the top coat? Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. So
Do
this,
you have a pretty good traffic count, what time the major traffic is during the morning with that traffic thing? Do you have an idea?
yeah, they're usually out of there by 8:30.
8:30, it's
Well,
starting to,
We've got to
So-
wait till the temp hits 62 and
Mhm.
rising, I think it is for chip seal anyways,
Oh,
which
okay.
is usually between that 9 and 10 in the morning.
so most
We're
everybody will
usually
be
pretty
out by
good.
then.
Yeah. And the traffic on that road is not very high. The high days were 150. cars
It
a
was the
day.
weekends, weren't they? I can't remember.
It was actually during the week were the high days, but, yeah, I think 150, and that's one direction. So if you're going both directions, you're seeing 300 cars a day at the high points. The average was about 2 to 250. So. Speaking of that, we do have our signs are done. I've just got to get the software side of it done, which I should have done today, and then we can get those out. Probably get one up there to, is it Greenwood? That we had all the issues, Greenwood
Sky.
Trails and Blue Sky. And then we'll figure out where to put the other one. It's probably gonna be down on,
McClellan,
no, south.
oh, and Whitehall.
The hell's it, Cedar Hills, there by Cargill's, where we had she had talked to us about the traffic through that 15-mile-an-hour zone, so. We'll do some signage down there as well. But. We got our trailers made a little better than the cities, so we can actually lay the sign down, so you can go down the freeway without trying to rip it apart, and
Nice.
so it should be good.
I'm interested to see the statistics for the Blue Sky Heights.
Yeah.
People are actually ripping down.
I'm pretty excited to use these to be able to see the actual numbers of when the sign's off, how many people are speeding. And the guy that we did the webinar with, he pretty much recommended like do a week with it off or on and then a week with it the other way, and it'll give you pretty good data. So,
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see when it's flashing, if it actually slows people down or not.
Mhm.
yeah.
First day or two it will.
Yeah, probably
For a
so.
minute.
Then you'll end up with a high score on it,
Mhm.
Yeah.
never fails,
I'll try.
or somebody will run over it. That's what they did to mine when I had them.
Yeah. These ones, it'll hurt them if they hit it, so. They'll notice it. Just wanted to follow up on Sawmill. There's been a lot of discussion, rumors going around, like kind of working on a plan moving forward. I've got another gentleman I need to reach out to. Wasn't able to get a hold of him. That kind of was trying to get an RMD in there many years ago and was shot down, but. I don't know if we want to try and schedule a public meeting or if we just want to put some sort of letter out.
Have you talked to Mark Trudeau? I think that's his name.
Yeah.
That's who I talked to last. He's the one that did the RMD and the RSID and stuff up on Moonlight.
Okay.
And he told me he was going to try to start that process again up there and talk to some people.
I know Ryan Warner was pretty involved in it.
Yep, I talked to him too.
Okay, so you've already
And
talked to Ryan.
there's a guy lives at the end of there. His name is Ed Hall. According to somebody that I talked to,
Mhm.
that's lived up there since the 70s, and he might have some information. But basically, the people I'm talking to wanted hard surfaced, and I said, without an RSID and an R&D,
Yep.
that is not gonna happen.
And that's the number
Ever.
one call we get outside of requests for grading is, when are you guys gonna pave this road? And
Yep.
I know there was conversation 5 years ago about possibly getting millings and doing that road, but that's not in the foreseeable future.
Not looking like it, no.
So. But just put it out there again, if we want to do a meeting or what the next steps are gonna be, or if we just keep telling people, hey, we can put a letter together and send out and say, this is what your options are. But after this winter, they're gonna be kind of on their own.
Did we find definitive proof that that's not our road, or did we find didn't find any definitive proof that
We
it
haven't
is?
found any definitive proof that it is.
Gotcha.
The Dana's looked extensively and she's not found anything that leads to any kind of channel that it may have been adopted at any point, other than the road list from 2002.
Yeah,
Which there was never a petition done, there was never a review done. So you can't just adopt it without those.
And I think there's like 3 things that it has to meet to be
Yeah, it has to be,
classified as a county road
it
and.
has to be petitioned by the public, it has to go through a review process and posted, and then it has to be adopted by resolution. And the only thing it's had is adopted by resolution through that mass adoption.
So I think a public meeting would be good to have up there and just kind of get it out on the table and maybe tell them, if we don't think it's a county road, let's turn it into a county road, because you're not gonna do an RMD or SID unless it's a public or a county
Access.
road. And I don't know, I think it would be a harder thing to do to make it a public road somehow.
Well, it
Public
should be a
easement.
public road.
It should be.
Yeah, I think
There's
it's a
nothing
way
saying
open to the
private.
state, so.
With a public road.
Are they subdivisions up there that the plat would say public, or?
No, but
Because if
there's,
it's not a county road, we don't know what it is after that, right? Could be,
It's-
could be private.
it is shown on maps back into the early 1900s. It's.
I
Should
think
be
it's a public road because it's a way open to the state, but it's,
Well, we're gonna have to be able to prove that before we can form an RMD or an RSID. It's gotta be public, so.
So I'll work with.
well, how did, well, it's a public road, so.
And subdivisions are good because they're all public.
Yeah.
Public roads, so this one would be kind of a mess. I mean, if it turns out to be, we can't figure out if this is public, this is private, this is whatever. It may be something we actually form as a county road, so it's then public road, and then they can do their RMD. or
Well, and then,
RSID.
but to get it into a county road, there's gonna be a lot of process, and it may not get the backing to go that route.
Well, I don't know how they're gonna fix their road, because if it's not a public road, then they're not gonna have an RMD.
Yeah,
Unless they use their homeowners association, which is kinda
they don't have.
hard.
Yeah. So I'll work with Ladena on trying to get the documentation locked in.
Cause I remember discussion, that part that the Brett kind of controls in the middle, they were talking, that's not public, that's like private through that little section. I don't know, it's like a big mess, I don't know. So. I don't know,
I thought it said it was a public easement through there, but
the Brett
it's
did,
been so long since I've looked at it.
yeah. So sections of the road have different designations, I don't remember what it is.
Hmm.
It's
It
a
could be,
mess.
could be a mess.
Yeah, it already is a mess. So, okay, well, I'll get with Ladena before we start pushing too hard on letters and meetings, because we need all of our ducks in a row.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The road ownership's gonna be the hard thing to find out. And if we have to do a blanket resolution to take that on as a county road, I'm not against it, cause the RMD should follow it up with all the maintenance, we don't have to do anything with it.
Okay, well, we'll follow up on that. So we've been working for a while with Lewis and Clark about possibly buying a plow. That's been a pain in the rear end, but we finally got some headway moved. Dustin, their shop supervisor, sent us over a price list for the plow and then all of the other parts and accessories we were wanting to pick up from them. All said and done, depending on how many V plows, so they have 3 greater attachment hydraulic V plows that are a lot smaller than the big ones we have, which would be really nice to have at least the one up in Montana City.
For the grader?
For the grader. Cause that would allow us to really, I mean, we could go through the blade and open up some of these roads in one pass with that V plow and a snow wing.
Yeah, one in Elk Park would be
Yeah,
handy
Elk
too.
Park would be handy, so. They want $1,000 a piece on those V plows, they have 3 of them, I don't know that we need all 3 of them, but 2 would be nice. They're normally, what was it, 25, 30 grand? new.
Yeah, they're about
Yeah.
30 grand new, and used ones are about, if you can find used ones and get them
You're still.
under wraps, you're about 10, 13 grand.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's cheap.
So, but not including those V plows, we're looking at about $2,800 or $28,000 for everything, which includes 4-wheel drive snow plows similar to one that we already have. 4 Henderson sander boxes, 2 of them they've restored, so they're like new. The other 2 are restorable. 2 12-yard dump truck body beds. We have a truck in Whitehall that the bed's completely rotted out, so we need to replace it anyways.
And I think the cost of those were $500, so even
$500
you buy
for
two
a bed.
boxes and.
Yeah.
That's
And
cheap.
then they also have 2 walk and roll attachments and they would sell us for $100 a piece, which are $15,000.
They're about 23 grand new, they're the same as V Plus.
Yeah.
I was gonna get a used one when we got this new blade, so we weren't taking a walk and roll away from Whitehall. They wanted $13,000 for a used one, so.
Yeah, they're gonna sell them to us for $100 each. So.
Yeah, how'd you schmooze those guys?
They
They
want,
were gonna originally say it on camera, they were gonna try and give us most of that stuff,
Oh,
but
yeah.
just because of the way things are, they've gotta sell it to us for something, basically
Sure.
scrap price is what they're gonna get at an auction for it, so.
Yeah,
That's what they would be willing to sell it to us for. As long as the budget's approved close to where it was proposed, we've got the money in there to do it. So I wanna go ahead and move forward with buying all that stuff. It's gonna be, we've got a couple trucks where the sander beds are going bad. This gives us replacements, helps us keep our fleet moving in the right direction.
how many miles does that truck have on
It wasn't a lot, 100 and,
I think it was 126,000.
yeah.
it? Are they getting away from four-wheel drive trucks?
They're getting newer stuff.
They're
I
buying
bet
it.
they're still four-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, the stuff, some of the stuff that they're just phasing out, like we would like to do, but
Yeah.
can't do. They're just phasing into new equipment.
Well, as they
were-
phase out, we can. use
Exactly,
that
yeah, they
area.
actually sold 3 other trucks to Broadwater and 1 truck to East Helena, and this is their last one.
Gotcha.
And they were able to get a capital improvement fund for equipment established 15-20 years ago. So they have a equipment replacement plan that's been in place and they are still able to track with that.
Hmm.
We want to do that, but we're so far behind the gun that it's hard to get that started. Their new plows are brand new ones that are $350,000 a piece, brand new, so. Yeah, but to this one that's already, I mean, we can put this one into service as soon as we got it for 25 grand. The 2 other newest trucks I bought just the trucks for $30,000 a piece and we still had to build them into plows.
Mhm.
So the price on it is worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gotta be able to be out there plowing, gotta have the trucks to do it.
Do we have any to get rid of now, or are we gonna, we got?
When they're going down, it's because they're getting kind of parts trucks, kind of tossed to the weeds for
Yeah.
parts.
We don't have anything that's worth getting rid of.
Not yet, okay.
Well, we won't, they'll be saved for parts.
How
We've
often
got
does Lewis and Clark phase theirs through, do you know?
a couple of
Every-
years.
Oh, every couple of years.
Is what they're trying to get back to with, the difficulties of getting trucks and equipment around COVID, it's putting behind.
Okay,
So I'm not sure how soon they'll be getting rid of more, but Kevin and Dustin know that the next time they're ready to get more or get rid of more, should be their first phone call.
perfect.
We and Bear were talking about, we'd like to see kind of an opportunity in some places in Whitehall where you don't need a 4-wheel drive truck, maybe you can use a dump truck with set up as a plow like the state does. I know I talked to Kohler Tire and they have studded tires for big trucks now, which I don't think anybody has seen in the past, so. I don't know if you could get by with studded snow tires on a dump truck and be able to get around well enough to, that way you're not spending 300K on a truck, you could. Use a dump truck in the summer and then in the winter you could be using it as a plow truck and be able to use it more than just a seasonal
And
vehicle.
that's what the state does. Their trucks are year-round trucks.
Mhm.
There are roads that we have that you don't need 4-wheel drive, and that's, even around here, there's a lot of stuff you can do without 4-wheel drive.
True.
Just trying to figure out having to get everywhere and
Yeah.
beat buses and,
Right.
just trying to figure stuff out like that where you could use something. That where we're not having to be drawn into buying a 4-wheel drive truck.
Does the state run studded tires or?
No.
No, that's kind of odd. They don't get stuck ever. I've never seen it. I'm sure you have.
They get stuck, but it's usually because of drivers doing something stupid, like
Yeah.
driving off the side of the road or into the middle that hasn't been plowed out yet, but. I've plowed a lot of miles of interstate in a 10-wheeler truck or even the tow plow, and I've never put chains on a state truck.
Mhm.
That's going up and down Boulder Hill and Verdes.
Right. That's pretty.
Icy
amazing.
conditions, and so those trucks with all that weight, they do really well.
Mhm.
We have that old Ford in Whitehall, the one that we need to put a new bed on, that one came from the state, set up with a plow and a sander, so it'd be pretty easy to get it put back to use as a plow.
Oh, nice.
But
I talked to a couple of gentlemen at the city of Helena and the trucks they just got their beds are set up where it dumps the sand in front of the drive tires. So it's like a train, when a train uses traction, it uses sand. But if you get away without having a four-wheel drive truck and be able to buy a bed that disperses sand, when you need the sand, you're able to turn a trickle on, gives you the traction, be able to do what you need to do, but
That's cool.
And
then-
that really opens us up a lot for options of buying used trucks, cause
No kidding.
used 4x4 trucks are almost non-existent now. We're also
Yeah.
we played around with the ideas of revamping our plow routes to utilize the graders more for dirt roads. Just because we can open them more, especially if we get a V plow on one. We'll see. We're constantly looking at ways to change it and better ideas. Dylan's great at that. He thinks outside of the box a lot, so.
no, it's just hard to be able to come up with a plan when people are calling when you're not there, when they expect you to be there at 9 and you're not there at 9, they wanna know where you're at, so
Mhm.
just hard to figure all that out and.
Logistics, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a tough
And
one.
when trucks and guys are both not there, you know, we got guys calling in sick or trucks broke down, your plans go out the window.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that, with this equipment, that's a lot of money in equipment that we can get for next to nothing. And I think
So what are we
it's
looking at
worthwhile.
total for that?
27, 28, 22. Just over 30,200 if we get two of those V plows.
Say that again. You got some correct.
30,200.
Okay, that's with the V plows and the walk and rolls.
Yeah.
Okay,
everything
that's what I
we bought.
thought.
And if I remember right, I don't have my note in front of me, but I think I got 75,000 we put in the capital outlay for equipment. So it should be good there. And still gives us a little bit of leeway if I'm able to find another popular trailer that we've been looking for.
Yeah, some of the stuff in there, like the V plows, we could get away with not having them, but they're so cheap, you're probably not gonna get another opportunity to get 3 V plows for $3,000. It's just, I mean, it's just a good opportunity.
So they come with all the hydraulics and everything?
Yeah, they're ready to hook up.
Just hook
If
'em
I
up.
do all three, it's 31,200. The one is a little tweaked, so we
Yeah.
might look at that one again just to see if it's worth getting or not. But
Some of it, we got one sander box, we got lined with street signs just to kind of get us by, so it'd be nice to kind of replace. Their used sander boxes are in better shape than some of our boxes that we're running, so it's nice to be able to. Be nice to be able to have some on standby, that way if you wanna throw a bed on something or whatever, it's just there and ready to go.
And two of these 4 sander boxes, they've already gone through and patched all the rust holes and then repainted and surfaced them, so they're like brand new boxes ready to go on a truck. And the dump bodies look like they're brand new dump bodies as well. So it's not like we're just buying rusty crap.
Right.
The walk and rolls are the one thing we may have to go through and replace some bearings or something, just because they've been used for a long time, but there'll still be money ahead on all of this.
That's great. Thanks, Lewis and Clark. I'll have to thank the commissioners.
I don't even think they know about it yet.
That's not very unusual, huh?
Yeah, no, not at all. Then I mentioned I did get just through on there, I did get the Great West to go out and do that survey on South Hills. I'm also gonna have them do Ambush Ridge while we have them out, just so we can find where that road's supposed to be. So we can get that drainage situation resolved. But what else did I have? Just thought of something else and now I forgot.
We wanna reiterate, I guess, on camera about drainage on McCollum Creek. We wanna talk about them? About pulling ditches, and I know Corey mentioned saying that.
What other roads besides McClellan are you? thinking?
Everything that's chip seal.
Everything that's chip sealed, not.
Yes, we got 90% of it, the water's just running down the road and not the ditch.
McClellan and Jackson are the two big ones. South Hills isn't gonna be far behind it, and they all have grass out to the edge of the road. Mormon Lane is another one down in Whitehall that has some issues on the shoulders that need to be fixed. But pretty much anything that has chip seal's got 20+ years of sand and debris getting
Right.
pushed into the ditches that needs to be addressed.
You know,
Not only that, everything on a hill, gravity works from the top down, so every time it rains, your sediment's going downhill and filling ditches, and
yeah,
some of has been done every year in certain sections on McCollum Creek, just because of wash, but everywhere needs attention.
So what we'll have to look at doing is providing some sort of public notice or something that we're gonna be doing that, and these are the road right of ways, and people will be losing grass and.
So
They'll
what-
reseed it, but
Yeah, what I've seen is this, I don't know if you guys have noticed, the state highways have been doing it, they've been doing shoulder work. And, I mean, we're not talking, we're going this deep, we're mostly going probably 6, 8, 10 inches at the most. It kind of looks like to me, the season after they do that, if the root system is deep enough, that grass just kind of
Yeah.
looks like to me, but they did it last year, all that stuff has come back, and I'm not sure if they're reseeding that or.
Well, and reseeding it will stop it from washing
Eroding,
out
yeah.
if it's just dirt, so.
Yeah.
There's good reason for the grass to be there, but
Mhm.
there's bad reason because it's running across the road.
Yeah.
There has to be something there.
And most of these, you see the grass, but it's stuff that's coming up under the sand that's piled up for
Mhm.
10+ years, so a lot of it would still have a root base to it.
I don't think roads like South Hills would be an issue, cause it's so flat, you're not gonna get a lot of water movement, you're not gonna get a lot of sediment movement. So that's not a concern, but when you got McCollum Creek where it rains and it's downhill, a rat race all the way down the hill. That's definitely something that you wanna kinda watch out for, cause if you get a good rain, there's gonna be lots of sediment moving, but.
And it'll help in the winter time as well, when we get those warm days and the slush and ice is melting off, it'll get it off the road instead of refreezing on the road.
How about the fence entrances and all the approaches like that?
At least McCollum Creek's got a good easement, I mean, we got plenty of room there.
Shouldn't
Is
be a
there,
problem.
is there very many?
There's quite a few approaches, but there's no fences that come up to our road.
Okay.
So I mean, you could work up to an approach and then come back later with the mini and dress all that stuff around people's approaches and
Okay,
get all that stuff put back, but.
so I know there's lots of fence entrances and I'm trying to think who was complaining about that, the ditch was like that deep and they had to get through there. Was
Well,
it,
that's when they've noticed they've read.
was it Big Red?
Yeah, and that's
Oh,
when
okay.
they apply for an encroachment permit and put in a culvert,
Oh, okay.
and approach the right way.
That's how it's supposed to be, yeah, so that's something you might keep in mind too, as you're driving these
Mhm.
roads, that you wanna do that, if there's places that the ranchers or the people need to get through. But
Yep,
they'll have to deal with it if they don't have.
yeah, like I said, it's not like we're digging a bunch, we're
Right.
just doing. 3 feet out from the edge of the chip seal, in some places it's a few inches, in some places it's higher than that, but it's just. It's just to clean the ditches
Yeah.
back out, we're not gonna do a whole lot of reshaping, the shape's there, we just gotta clean up the sand and
Yep.
sediment that's been pushed in there, so. Hopefully, the majority of it, we're just gonna be less than 10 inches deep.
But that'll help the
Max.
chip seal that's on the edges of the road too.
Yeah, then your water's not running, you got a
Yeah.
high shoulder and you got your chip seal and it can't go over the berm, so it's just. Running down the edge of your chip seal and then. I mean, there's places on the Colin Creek right now, there's a drop off that if someone drops a tire off in that, then. It's no bueno, and and when that happens, we've been taking the blade out and trying to bring stuff back to kind of fill the hole or. Take a little bit of hot mix and try to patch that, but. We can quit doing stuff like that, and just kind of correct the ditch, we may get another 10 or 15 years before you have to do it again, but we're just there on all of our stuff. Seems like that needs it.
How do you propose you're gonna let everybody know?
Whew, yeah, I don't know, it's just a hard one, I don't know if you're gonna be able to get a hold of everybody to
Well,
let, and there's a lot of people that I've talked to that said, we want you to do this. There's just gonna be a handful of people probably on every road that's gonna have a problem with it.
Cause if they're in a subdivision, we can get a hold of the subdivision, usually there's a
Right.
email, a chain that everybody
Yeah,
communicates
right.
together or whatever, so.
Yep, I've got a few lists for most of our subdivisions of the residents there, but we don't have a whole lot of chip sealing. And
Right.
subdivisions, the
Yeah.
majority of it is the main roads, South Hills, Jackson Creek, McCollum Creek.
and we might be able to just do an announcement flyer that we can send out bulk mail through the post office to everybody that lives on the road. The biggest blowback is gonna be the ones that spend more time working on the grass all the way out to the edge. They're gonna be
Yeah.
upset about their grass.
You know,
Yeah, and that's like I said, that's a handful of people. Most of the people I've talked to are all like, why aren't you guys doing this? It's like, yeah, we know, we need to get our ducks in a row and plan, because there is gonna be a handful of people that believe that their property goes all the way up to the edge of the road and they maintain that grass and
that, I
everything.
mean, if there's a few of those, if there's a few, that might be something we can just make a flyer and deliver, hand deliver or something, instead of trying to get it to them by mail, then we know they got it. and
Yeah.
We talk to them and we can
Yeah.
explain it to them, and, you know, if you guys decide to do something like that, let me know, I don't mind.
Yeah,
tagging
you
along
know, we
or
can make a
whatever.
list of the people that we know would be, in the past, of people that have made comments, we could. Make
The
a
ones
list of
that
those
think
guys.
they own right up to the road, yeah.
Yeah.
They do own up to the road, but they don't control it, I guess,
Mm-hmm,
so.
Yeah. The only
That
other,
sounds great.
only other thing I forgot to put on here is we did get an official announcement, Shrub's retirement last week.
Oh, nice.
He is done and effective last week.
Oh, he's already done, huh?
Yep.
I didn't get invited to the party.
We might have one, but we might not be invited.
No, I'm excited about it, cause just who knows, like if you were to get to the point this winter where you wouldn't wanna come back, then it'd be like, we'd be under the gun to try to fill it. So now we have some time to be able to try to fill that position before winter hits.
Is he interested in doing any fill-in or?
I didn't ask you. He's gonna be a while before he can do anything. When I
Yes.
talked to him last week, he just got the approval from his doctor to start putting weight on his foot and walking again.
Oh, he's got
He
some-
said it's gonna be months before he's back to anything resembling his old self, which,
Okay,
we didn't have that discussion. We may address it down the road, but
Mhm.
might be a good hand to have for, in your back pocket for when you're short or.
Yeah, definitely leave the
Calls
door
on.
open. I think we're allowed to leave the door open as long as we want, right?
yeah.
I think they gotta be retired for 2 months or something.
I think it's it's either 30 or 90 days.
I'm pretty sure it's 6
It
months.
depends.
When I talked to Ronnie, it was 6 months.
6 months. To get all loose from the county, then they could start working again without affecting the
It might be
retirement.
different, but
It's
I.
less. I think it's 90 days.
Huh.
it-
It
it
seems-
could
But
be.
I'll check.
Yeah,
I'll check and I'll
'Cause we're
ask.
planning on Ronnie to try to get him back too.
Yeah, no, that's good news. It'd be nice to be able to fill that position with another guy that we just got.
Yeah, so that should be
Yeah, awesome.
posted in the next paper. So we can get that filled. Hopefully we can get a guy named Chips. We got a Chippendale.
There, yeah. Be nice- Hopefully, if we, I guess we don't expand our hiring process. I know last time. Dale, when he got hired on it, the only thing that we had it posted on was in Jefferson County. So if you're in Lewis and Clark County, the only way you'd be able to find this is if you specifically looked for jobs on Jefferson County's
Yeah,
website.
We
So,
might spend a little bit more money and get it posted in some other places, so we can get some of those guys from the Helena area that still live close
Yeah.
enough.
she's
Yeah.
been using Indeed, is that what
Well, we didn't use it for the road stuff, cause it costed a
It's
lot of
pretty
money.
spendy.
it does cost a
Yeah,
lot, yeah, it
and-
does, but it gets you it broad,
Get you out there,
probably too far maybe, but.
yeah, cause we had a lot of guys with the mechanic job from out of state.
I know that you can weed out a lot by putting so many stipulations in there.
Yeah,
I mean, you can put tons of stipulations, and if they don't make that box, they can't move on to the next
Right,
section,
right.
so.
yeah,
There is things you can do, but I just know last time it was the luck of the draw that we got the guy we did. Just because of, no one had any idea that position was open.
He got told by word of mouth or
Yeah.
something from another guy.
Yep,
does Mackers have some kind of a
No,
website or anything?
not that we post job openings on.
Hmm.
It doesn't see enough traffic right now.
I'd be curious just to see the costs. I know there's some businesses I worked for in the past that put radio spots in once a week. Like on 99.5, they put it, this is we're hiring and,
Well, if you got in the IR and maybe Broadwater and some of the surrounding counties, you might pick up.
yeah,
some of
as
that.
long as I think you gotta be within 30 miles of, you gotta be able to report 30 miles in, so.
Yeah,
Broadwater's kind of pushing it to be able, most of Broadwater's pushing it to be able to report to
yeah,
Montana City, but I think it'd definitely be worth maybe looking into broadcasting that a little bit. You're just getting a bigger group of people rather than one or two that you're having to pick from.
Yeah, so we are gonna explore some options on getting the word out.
you almost need to get somebody that already lives local because you can't afford to get anybody here. And they can't afford to buy a house or rent a house or.
Yeah,
Whereas-
fortunately, look, Jefferson County pays pretty much at the top tier for lots of counties around the area. Like if you want a county job, we're very competitive. It's a good place to
Yeah,
work. It's a good
Broadwater,
opportunity.
Broadwater makes a lot more than we do.
Yeah, well, there's places that do and there's places that don't.
Yeah, it was amazing to hear at Mackers, the wide range of payroll from one area to another.
No, yeah. We've gotta be, cause we're right in between the big three.
Yep.
There was one out by. Is it out by Hamilton or something? They were starting guys out at like $17 an hour. They're good operators. We're only making $19-20 an hour.
Yeah, that's when I say when we're pretty competitive, even with private contractors.
Yeah.
You talk to private contractors around the area, we're
Where you need to be.
we're competitive with them even, so.
Yeah,
So you got to be.
you guys always want more, and we, you know, there are definitely higher paying jobs, but there's a lot of benefits that we offer that they don't get in the private sector.
Yeah, I think we have the ability to get good hands just because of where our pay's at.
If you wanted a copy of those prices.
Yeah.
Please, I got a couple.
If you're interested in pictures and some of that too, we can get those
Yeah,
if you'd like, or if you're having questions about anything.
Oh, okay.
we'll probably be up there in the next couple of days reviewing what they got, just making sure we're not buying piles of rust, but
We got 4 things for discussion,
Only 4?
only 4.
pretty short.
This is why my phone blew up yesterday.
I don't know if we told you, but we made this meeting an hour, so.
Oh.
So we're
So
good.
you're not in a hurry right now.
No.
Holmes Gulch, 2 issues. One is Joe Schmaus got a hold of Helen. Heard that we were not doing anything on Holmes Gulch. I tried to call him, his voice box is full, he won't answer calls, so I told Helen to, if she heard from him or talked to him, give him my cell phone number. Nothing's changed up there, other than the fact that we're not doing any more or any less than we've ever done.
Right.
Okay, that's what I wanted to confirm, that was an easy one. Holmes Gulch, Upper Holmes Gulch, from Big Indian up to O'Donnell's.
From the Y up to the county line,
Yep,
okay,
3 people live up there that their kids go to the Montana City School. Alex Waddell, this is the second time I've talked to him, and this is, I'm just bringing it up so you can think about it. He wants to maintain that road, the upper portion of it that goes through the conservation easement, which is a county road. And they have access to it through to that road through all of the subdivisions up
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
So they don't have to go all the way around. He wants to plow snow on it and maintain it to some
yeah, just so they can use it.
so they can use
Yeah.
it. Right now, I drove up there and
It's bad.
it's
barely a
worse than
2
some of the
track.
roads I hunt on.
It's barely a 2 track.
It's terrible.
What I would,
So I don't know if there's a permitting process. I know we discussed this a little bit.
yeah, so we had
Or
talked about this
something.
for the one down on Sheep Camp. In Whitehall, and what we kind of came up with is just doing an encroachment permit. But we'll make it an indefinite timeline and then outline responsibilities, and that the county won't take on any additional maintenance due to their improvements. And we just started the one down in Whitehall, but the guy was he thought it was a great way to do it. That way, it just something on paper of an agreement other than meeting minutes.
Do you know Alex? I'll give you his
I
phone
know
number if you
you
want to
know
give him a
Alex,
call.
Yeah.
He's been building his house up there for several years, but right now he lives at the end of Ponderosa.
Mhm.
Right,
But he's trying to move in before Christmas and he wants to do this
yeah,
for him and the other 2 people. I forget their names. Tangent might be one of them.
Is that the one that goes through Lewis and Clark, then come back to Jefferson?
Yep. It's,
So,
well, it splits right there and then it just goes to the county line.
yep, right to the
There.
county line.
cause he's this one here, isn't he?
Yep. He's
Or
right
this one
inside.
here.
He owns 7 acres in Lewis and Clark County and 53 in our county.
Okay, that's
Hmm.
probably it then, that big chunk right there.
Yep, I think it is.
Yeah,
And,
but
yeah, he would maintain from the line.
From there
to
down to, I think it's
Right there.
Echo Lane or something that comes off of Big Indian down there.
Where Schmaus's subdivision
Yep.
starts.
yeah, right there where your cursor's at.
Cause it's pretty good. It's really good right to that road that runs along Holmes Gulch is, I think it's Echo Road or Echo Lane or
It's not,
something like
that's a
that.
driveway.
Yeah, it is, but
It
there's,
shouldn't have a name.
but I think there's
That's
a
a-
couple houses on it now.
no.
It does have a name and there's a street sign on it.
Mm.
Cause I drove up
So
there.
that's Howard Keiss that owns that corner.
There's,
We let him put that long driveway in because he originally was coming down to Big
Schmaus's?
Indian
Yeah,
and
And going across.
Schmaus and them threw a big fit, was gonna charge him 50 grand for access to the road. And
Okay.
so he put in that long driveway.
my only point is the road's pretty good to where that
Yeah,
driveway is.
yeah.
It's from there up that
'Cause
it's not.
I made Howard improve the road to that.
So it's
driveway,
pretty
yeah.
decent there. So I'll give you Alex's phone number if you just wanna discuss what he needs to do
Yeah.
and
That, yeah, or him just
Yeah.
trying to get us an encroachment
Yeah.
permit.
the other.
I'm not worried about the fee.
The other guy up there who owns that conservation easement on either side wants to block it, which I told him was probably never gonna happen.
To block the road,
Yeah.
can't leave it.
just to let you know that that piece is out there. I talked to Alex yesterday
They'd have
morning.
to petition for an abandonment to get that road abandoned, to be able to block it.
McCarty Creek.
Okay.
They're gonna ask me on Thursday what's going on with it.
Yeah, so I went up and re-GPSed it and I got some maps ready for a public announcement. We're waiting for the time to get up there and put in the closures. So we got a plan on that. So hopefully as we get out of grading season, we hit that transition between fall grading and winter. We'll get up there and start doing more work, get some culverts in and.
As
get
long,
those
cause
culverts
it's,
done.
cause it's grant money, so I'm sure that, I don't think it runs out till 2026, but I don't know when in 2026.
Yeah. But
So-
we've got all the stuff, we're just waiting on the time to do it, which was
Okay.
part of the original.
Because you have all the
discussion.
culverts and stuff, right? Okay.
Yeah, we got the fencing materials and, yeah, we got pretty much everything we need, we just need the time.
Fourth thing or fifth thing, I can't remember.
It's not been that big a deal, man.
Steve is working on the Martinez Gulch thing. I think there was some mix up there. Where I mentioned that I was working on some stuff. And we all somehow took that to mean. Wait for whatever I was doing. Well, I wasn't doing anything to stop the whole fence thing. So if he's working on that now.
Yeah,
The next
I'm-
thing is. Along that same road, can we get a couple signs up there above
Yeah, the no parking signs.
that
yeah,
just say
that's-
road narrows, no parking above these signs? Something along those lines,
And I
and
know
try
I
to get all
wrote
this
that down
straightened out.
before and it never, I was putting in a sign order and that didn't happen, so I'll make sure that happens.
Maybe before you order them, let us know what verbiage you're gonna put on there, so we're all in the same boat here.
I'm just gonna put, no parking beyond this point. Or no parking between signs, and we'll put a couple of them clear up to the end of where it turns private. Cause there are some no parking signs up on the other end as well,
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so.
yeah, so I think they just need to be updated.
I was thinking just a sign maybe on each side of the road, just says road narrows, no parking beyond this point or something, that's what I.
Yeah, and that can
I
go all the way
do
to the
that
end.
too. Yeah, we can do that.
That way we're just doing two signs and,
Yeah, they don't have to worry about the other sign, but parking between signs, just road narrows. I don't know if we wanna put a please in there, probably not.
Nope.
No parking.
Keep
I
it
just put no
simple.
parking.
Once we get those installed, then we can get a hold of what's her face in there and say, tell your guys, you know.
And I gotta call Mary anyway, because. She did text us last week and I talked to her after that. But I gotta call her again and. Let her know that it was my fault with the delay, kinda sorta.
We'll get signs ordered, they should only take a couple weeks to get those.
Alright, perfect.
School bus signs, since we're
Oh.
talking about school bus signs,
Yeah,
did you get those ordered?
no, I have a few, but I was gonna bring up, and I'm glad you brought it up, cause I forgot about it. I went out and drove most of their bus routes to look at what was not posted. Almost all of their routes do not have school bus stop signs on them. Not just the ones they were complaining about.
No,
And
school bus
most of the
stop signs.
ones that have them up on like 282 are in the wrong locations.
Hmm.
They've got dangerous blind corner stops on 282 that do not have signs, and in their own little notes they give me, it says, you gotta turn your flashers on clear back here because they can't see you coming around the corner. It's like, the ones they're complaining to us about, to me, seem really low priority compared to some of these other stops.
From the state highway ones,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And all the routes up in like Saddle Mountain, McClellan, South Hills, all those other routes, none of them have school bus stop signs on them.
Okay.
So it's not gonna be a small undertaking if we're gonna start signing every bus stop.
We'll start an inventory for me so we can start thinking
And
about.
I
budget.
started,
Okay,
yeah,
cause it's gonna cost us a few $1,000 to meet the safety aspect is worth it, but it's gonna cost $50,000, we may have to have a different conversation.
yeah. And there's ways to do some of them so that we're not doing 10 signs. You can do one, bus stops next 500 feet or whatever it is. Where you can encompass multiple stops
Okay,
to reduce that, but. The ones that they were complaining about, to me, were pretty low priority compared to some of these other ones.
yeah, give me, if you have those in your mind or whatever, let me know so I can
I'm
ask the
working on
school.
a map.
Okay. Cause if the school should be the one screaming, I think they would have a louder voice than the commission, school bus problem, so. I think they should know that. Harlow should be screaming too, because they're the,
Harless is the one screaming.
or, yeah,
They're the ones that were complaining about it, but they're the ones that, like the one up on 282, just south of South Hills. Right in the corner there where that stables is a stop, and you can't see if somebody's coming south.
Hmm.
But yeah, all of those, every route I've drove, which is all of them in Jefferson City, Corbin, or excuse me, Jefferson City, Clancy, and Montana City. There are very few bus stops. Some of those that they did write down on their complaint list, we put signs up 2 years ago. So I don't know that they're paying attention to all of them or not.
sounds good. Yeah, give me an inventory on the county ones and let me know of any bad
Yeah.
state. So I can figure out who to start talking to on that. The state should make that a priority as well.
Yeah, 'cause the ones on the state side over there from north of Lump Gulch is where, let's see, it's right about Pinecrest is where they have a bunch of stops through there and Gruber and up to Have and everything. And there's a bunch of signs, but most of them are in the wrong location, or like there'd be a stop here and the sign for it on the oncoming traffic was past it. And so they need to redo the whole thing. But I think comes down to they've moved the stops every year. It's hard to move the signs every year.
All right, yeah, that's a
And they don't have the state involved in the transportation meetings to get those stop locations every year, so.
good deal.
Just let me know what happens with them surveys.
Well,
Can assist with South Hills, maybe. Maybe not.
I got it, he just emailed me back, I gotta send him some stuff and then they'll get it packaged together and estimate everything.
I can't imagine they built that whole intersection and put that road in the wrong spot, but it's always
Never
went
know.
right straight across to 282.
George Demers requested that you let him know if you're working on his road. He said he might put.
He's already talked to him.
You talked to him just recently?
Not recently, just since the last time I told you about it,
Okay.
when he initially contacted you, I guess.
Sounded like he was gonna try to put more dust oil on it again, so I don't know if he's gonna do it this year since we're getting all the moisture, but.
Yeah, see, what I think I've talked to the residents and other people up there. And as far as we know, he's never done it personally, because whenever
He's-
Gruber or we or any contractors, they usually either they use our water truck, or if it's bad enough, they send us a list of stuff that needs to go be bladed. And we take our water truck out, and that's never happened. I think 2 years ago we did that, and I think what he's thinking is that maybe if he did a cost share with that next to their house, like Galconda Road or whatever,
Mhm.
that he cost shared with the county to do that.
Okay,
Cause as far as I know, he's never done it personally.
yeah, I don't
on
think
his
so.
own, So,
Yeah, and
and if it is us doing it, I think we should be able to make a judgment call without having to call 50 people in this county and saying, hey, we're gonna be on this road, hey, we're gonna be on this
Right.
road. I understand if they're doing it
I agree,
themselves.
Yeah.
Well,
I wanna push it to like the last possible point that we can do it.
Yep.
To be able to blade it, but also you gotta make a judgment call. It's in Jeff City. Are we gonna come back in 2 weeks and blade 300 feet of
Right,
road? I
yeah.
mean, there's just so many variables that go into that, but we try to make sure that the Meg stuff just stays the way it is until it's bad enough where you have to do it.
Perfect.
the other part of that is if a resident is putting their own dust control down, they're supposed to be getting permits for that
Right.
from us.
Yeah.
And then the bottom line is it's our road and we're responsible for the maintenance. So if it needs to be graded, we're gonna grade it.
Right. Yep, but I think. Like Dylan said, if they're putting their own down, investing in that, we just need to be a little bit cognizant of of
Absolutely.
their investment.
Yeah.
And we're not just gonna tear up their main
Yeah.
chloride every time we
Well,
drive by there.
Even grading a road that's been magged isn't destroying the mag.
Right.
It's still there. It's not leaving.
Yeah, there's several people up on Hillsborough, there's sections that haven't gotten touched, and, I mean, we did them now because it was a few years ago, the last time we megged, but we would always skip those sections if they weren't bad enough. There's a few holes or a little bit of washboard, we'd leave it, but
Yeah.
just gets to a point where you can't drive over it, pass it. You
Yeah.
got one person calling, hey, we want you to blade the road, and then the next person after you get it done, how come you bladed the road? You know,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, Like
You
you,
can't win, you can't.
yeah, yeah, so like I said, it's hard to, you have so many judgment calls when you got three people out blading. And it's like, hey, what do I do here? Hey, what do I do here? It's
Yeah.
like, sometimes you just gotta make a call right then.
No, just do the best you can.
Yep. But no, we're definitely, when Meg's on the ground, we wait to the last minute. Try to let it stay in place for as long as possible before we tear it up.
Perfect. No, the last thing I've got is Lump Gulch Road. We got, can't remember his name up there, but he's getting dusted out up there and washboard is turned into a wreck up Lump Gulch, so. I don't know if we can start working on maybe looking at a flat for that to improve that. It'd be nice to get millings on it, but again, the millings, who knows if the millings are 5 or 10. or
Where is
20
this out on Lump Gulch?
After the pavement.
Oh, after the chip
Yeah,
seal. Yeah.
I think he's a little, we did some tree work for him up there and,
Yeah, he's quite a ways up from getting chip seal.
yeah,
It's right in the narrow.
I got you.
can't remember what his name is, but,
Yeah, but it's right in that area we were doing all the trees with the DNRC.
what was his name, Jeff, maybe?
Yeah, he's on that. You make that hard left, and he's that driveway on the right.
Oh, I got you.
So, yeah, that might be something we look at a flat for, just because so much, people going up to the lake up there. It's just,
Well, excuse me, I fully intend when the next round of flap is announced to look at McClellan, Lump Gulch, Clancy Creek, Corbin, High Orb, every road we have. What can we do for an improvement and submit them all?
Yeah,
We
maybe
submit
we can do a
15 different
package deal or
projects.
something, huh?
Well, I think we submit all 15 as different projects and get.
Oh,
what
it's
we can
different
get.
projects.
But you know, you look at some of these other counties, that's kind of what they're doing, is they'll throw 5 applications and see which ones stick. And, you know, maybe this one's a 10 million project and this is a 2 million project. And they can only fund the one, but at least we're getting that one done.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea.
But every road we have that accesses public land, I think we need to start looking at what improvements need to happen, whether it's paving or chip seal or just drainage features and tree management. Look at these projects and what we can do to help improve all of our roads, because that's the only way we're gonna get the money to do it.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I don't wanna downsize that guy's complaint, but I think it's that, I think that when you say there's an accident caused, I think that the driving too fast for a condition applies to that. The condition of the road, if there is a lot of rumble
yeah.
strip, I don't think you should be doing 35 anymore. And that's not downsizing our part in it, but there's just so much, you can go blade that short section off the chip seal on by Sheep Mountain there. You can blade it and 3 or 4 days later, it's just
Back to where-
coming off of traffic, it just
Yeah.
blows it apart. So you could just plant a blade in some of these places and just once a week,
They're
just be out doing it and you
coming
get
off
nothing else
40,
done.
50 miles an hour.
But yeah, if someone comes up and says there was an accident, I think that maybe there's a too fast for conditions, whatever, if that's snow or washboard or water or whatever it is, you just need to drive. Sometimes you need to drive accordingly to what's going on.
I think his big thing was the dust and washboard. So I don't think there was any accidents, but yeah. I think that was the end of my list.
I have one thing.
You got a short list.
Yeah, I got a call yesterday from Scott Cargill, of course, down by the ranch there.
Okay.
His concern was people are going by there too fast. I know what you just said about the speed. His concern was, and I haven't talked to him since, I was gonna direct him to you. He said, maybe I can eliminate the speed. I'm gonna fence it as close as I can for the right of way, but I don't know where that right of way is.
Yeah, I don't know exactly where that right of way is, but it should be surveyed because they rerouted that road through there
Okay,
years ago. So there should be a survey that shows, but
so would Ladena be the one to resource there?
I'll look into it, but
So should I have him call you then?
yeah, you can. You know, and
I'll get
I,
back
when
to
his wife was on with us a year or so ago, we
Right.
talked about doing some additional signage and different
Right.
things. We just haven't.
No,
I want to do the
understand that.
study
Yeah,
and see what.
It's just that there was some damage done to one of his vehicles or something. They're going too fast on the side by side and broke one of their windows or something. So that was his concern.
But, you know, if they were to put fences right up to the edge of the road is gonna cause all of the other nightmare problems.
Oh, they'll go right through it.
Well, and then
Wow.
plowing and grading, it'll cause nightmares, so. But
Okay. I'll get hold of him.
I did talk to you about Cottonwood.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
that,
we're waiting for time to get over there to grade it, cause it needs to be graded.
okay,
It'll get done before winter.
sounds good, thank you.
Anything else you got?
I don't know if I should bring it up on camera. I'll probably just wait. I don't want to start a stir.
We can end the meeting if you want.
Okay,
You good with ending the meeting?
Yep. Meeting adjourned.